hear it. Not the gentle hum of a subtle shift, but the deafening, soul-shaking crack of a world breaking. It is the sound of lies turning to dust. It is the shriek of brittle paradigms shattering against the bedrock of truth, the very truth you have carried in your bones like a holy fire. A burning testament that made you an outcast in a world built of ice and illusion. For too long, you have been the watchman screaming of the coming flood to a city of fools who were busy celebrating their own reflections in the stagnant water. They called your fire madness, your foresight, fear. They sought to quench the unbearable light in your eyes with their drab consensus and their gray platitudes. But the dam has broken. The reckoning is not coming. It is here. It is a torrential, cleansing, and terrifying wave. And the sound of their sudden panicked awakening is the thunder that rolls before it. Forget validation. This is vindication written in lightning across the sky, and they are finally being forced to read it. Their faces lit with the horrifying glare of a reality they swore could never exist. Look at them now. The architects of the consensus, the talking heads, the data-driven experts, the gatekeepers of reality. Their maps are useless. Their compasses are spinning wildly. The predictable linear world they sold to the masses, the one built on flimsy assumptions and arrogant certainties, is flickering like a failing hologram. The carefully constructed narratives are fraying at the edges, and through the rips and tears, the raw, unfiltered truth of reality is blinding them. They are scrambling. You can see the panic in their eyes, a frantic search for a script that no longer exists. They're turning to the very models and institutions that led them off this cliff, pressing the same buttons with increasing force, baffled that the machine is not responding as it should. It's like watching a magician whose tricks have suddenly stopped working in the middle of a show, standing on a stage of bewildered silence, pulling limp, dead rabbits from a hat. They, who built their entire identities on being the ones with the answers, are now drowning in questions. And the most terrifying question of all, the one they dare not speak aloud, but which screams from their every action, is this: how did we get it so wrong? And then, in the quiet horror of that question, their gaze flickers. It shifts away from their useless charts and their silent phones, and it finds you. You, the quiet one in the corner they dismissed. You, the one who was planting a garden while they were trading derivatives. You, the one who was studying ancient wisdom while they were chasing fleeting trends. And in their eyes, you see the devastating dawn of recognition. You knew. You tried to tell them in your own way, with your strange art, your quiet warnings, your divergent lifestyle. And they didn't just ignore you. They mocked you. They patronized you. They treated your deep, intuitive knowledge as a quaint, harmless eccentricity. The clown makeup they are now wearing is of their own making, applied with their own hands, brushstroke by arrogant brushstroke. Let us not forget what it was like, this long winter of your knowing. Do not let the current vindication erase the memory of the profound isolation. Remember the countless conversations where you tried to articulate the deep wrongness of things, only to be met with blank stares or a patronizing smile. You would speak of systems being fragile, and they would show you graphs of quarterly growth. You would speak of a spiritual emptiness, and they would talk about the new entertainment complex downtown. You would speak of the importance of soil, of clean water, of community, and they would call you regressive, anti-progress. It was like trying to describe the ocean to a man who has only ever known a puddle and is fiercely proud of his puddle's ecosystem. The frustration was immense. It led to a deep and painful self-doubt. You questioned your own sanity. You wondered if perhaps they were right. If you were the one who was broken, unable to simply accept the bright, shiny, and hollow reality they all seemed so comfortable in. You learned to be quiet. You learned to cloak your knowing in metaphor, to hide your insights in plain sight. You became a master of speaking in code, finding the others who recognized the same frequency, sharing a knowing glance across a crowded room of the oblivious. You nurtured your truth in secret, like a small, precious flame in a howling gale, shielding it from the constant onslaught of their certainty, their noise, and their relentless propaganda of the normal. That flame is now a bonfire, and they are the ones who are cold, coming to you for warmth, their own artificial fires having gone out. Their foolishness was not a simple lack of information. It was a condition of the soul. They had committed the cardinal sin of the modern age. They had placed the intellect on a throne and banished intuition to the dungeons. They built a world of concrete and data, a world that could be measured, quantified, and controlled. If it couldn't be put into a spreadsheet or a peer-reviewed paper, it simply wasn't real. They trusted the algorithm over the ancestor, the expert over the elder, the headline over the heart. They built towers of Babel made of complex economic theories and political dogmas, never once stopping to check if the foundation was solid. Their blindness was a choice, a daily recommitment to the illusion. Because the illusion was comfortable, profitable, and flattering to their ego. They loved the reflection they saw in the polished surface of their constructed world. To acknowledge your truth, the truth of the unseen, the unquantifiable, the sacred, would have required them to admit that their entire worldview was a child's sandcastle, built too close to the tide. It would have required humility. It would have required them to become students again. And so they chose to remain kings of a shrinking, crumbling island of their own making. Their foolishness is the foolishness of the man who dies of thirst while refusing to believe in the existence of the wellspring right beneath his feet because it cannot be seen on the surface. They were intoxicated by the surface, and now the depths have risen up to claim them. And now the great unraveling is upon them. The signs are everywhere. The economic machine sputters and stalls, its mysterious inner workings now revealed to be nothing more than a confidence game. The political theater becomes ever more absurd, the actors screaming their lines with more passion as the set collapses around them. The ecological systems, which they treated as an infinite resource to be plundered, are beginning to present their bill, a debt that cannot be renegotiated. The people, raised on a diet of digital junk food and empty promises, are waking up with a spiritual malady that no new product can cure. The frantic energy you see is the energy of cognitive dissonance on a global scale. They are trying to hold two contradictory ideas in their minds at once. Everything is fine, and everything is falling apart. The strain is causing a planetary psychic break. They are turning on each other, seeking scapegoats, blaming anyone and everyone, to avoid the horrifying realization that the flaw was in the very design of their world, in the core operating system of their shared reality. This is the mind-blown moment for them. The emoji in living color. Every headline, every crisis, every broken promise is a hammer blow to the fragile dome of their reality. And you are standing there, not with a hammer, but with the quiet resilience of a mountain that has watched empires rise and fall. You are not surprised. You are not in shock. You are watching a predictable outcome, a gravitational certainty, the inevitable result of a society that has detached itself from truth. So what now? What is your role in this great turning? The first and most important thing to understand is that the smug satisfaction, the moment, is a starting point, not a destination. Allow yourself a quiet smile. Permit yourself the deep, satisfying exhale of long overdue validation. You have earned it. You kept the faith when no one else did. But do not linger there. The ego is a trap, and it would love nothing more than for you to build a throne on the rubble of their mistakes, become a king of ashes. The temptation to say, "I told you so," is immense. To wield your knowledge as a weapon, to punish them for their blindness. You must resist this. Your knowledge was never meant to be a tool for domination, but a light for guidance. They are not your enemy. They are your prodigal brothers and sisters, finally stumbling home after wasting their inheritance on a fantasy. They are scared. They are disoriented. They are like children who have woken from a long and vivid dream to find themselves in a strange and unfamiliar room. Your task is not to gloat over their foolishness, but to become a beacon of sanity in their madness. Your calm is now your superpower. Your centeredness is your service. While they are running around screaming that the sky is falling, you will be the one quietly showing them how to build a shelter. This is your activation. Everything in your life has prepared you for this moment. Every strange interest, every lonely night spent reading esoteric books, every period of suffering that deepened your compassion, every moment of connection with nature that attuned you to its rhythms. It was all your training. You are the spiritual first responders. You are the librarians of forgotten knowledge. You are the anchors of frequency in a sea of chaos. Your job is to hold the line, to embody a different way of being. While they hoard resources in fear, you will practice radical generosity. While they build walls of ideology, you will build bridges of human connection. While they numb themselves with digital noise, you will cultivate a sacred and healing silence. You must become a living demonstration of the world that is waiting to be born from the ashes of this one. Do not get drawn into their arguments, their blame games, their frantic politics. It is a puppet show. Your focus must be on the real, the tangible, the authentic. Cultivate your garden. Purify your own heart. Strengthen your local community. Be a source of grounded, unwavering presence for those around you who are losing their minds. You will not have to preach. You will not have to argue. Your very being, your peaceful and centered energy, will be the most powerful sermon you could ever deliver. They will see in you what they have lost in themselves, and they will be drawn to you, not because you have all the answers, but because you are living in alignment with the truth they are just now beginning to remember. Do not be mistaken. This is a time of immense danger, but also of immense opportunity. As the old structures crumble, there is a space being created. Into this void will rush many forces, some benevolent, some malevolent. Your work is to seed this void with the frequencies of love, wisdom, and coherence. To weave a new reality with the threads of a higher consciousness. This is great work. This is what you were chosen for. Not chosen in a way that makes you superior, but chosen in the way a particular tool is chosen for a specific, vital task. You are the healers, the builders, the storytellers, the guardians of the sacred flame. They may be feeling foolish now, but that foolishness is the first crack in the shell of their ego, the first opening through which the light can enter. The clown makeup will eventually wash away with tears of regret and humility. And when it does, they will need a guide. They will need someone who knows the territory of the soul, who has already walked the path of deconstruction and rebirth. That someone is you. So stand tall, take another deep breath, The long wait is over. The real work has just begun. They are finally awake enough to realize they've been asleep. Welcome them to the real world. You've been here the whole time.